Well, Stephanie Jenkins decided to post over on the FB. You know, she always reminds us that social media is her job. This is how she contributes to her family, and this is how she makes money for the family, right? But have you noticed lately she's taken 2, 3 days off at a time? She has yet to post on TikTok anything for at least 3 days now, and then we just see this. This is the first post in 2 or 3 days on FB, so this is showing you her work ethic. If this is her job and this is how she supports her family, she's not doing a very good job because, I mean, nobody's saying she has to put out, this exclusive content, like she has to put out these, elaborate videos every day. But in my opinion, she needs to be putting out something every single day. I mean, if you don't put out the content, you're not going to get paid, right? I mean, I believe that's the way it works. But, anyways, I got my tablet here so I could read to you what she has said, and I will also insert it up here, the post, so you can see it. But this is what we're on today. She says, I think in this day and age, avoiding all quote unquote junk food is difficult. I'll agree, Stephanie. I'll agree with you on that part. Because, I do love my junk food. Anyways, yes, you have the choice of not buying it. But does that allow for your kids to have choice in the matter? Now that's a tricky situation there because there's a lot of parents that, they make the choice for their children if they're going to get the junk food or not, if they're going to get the sugars and whatnot. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that believe, you know, that like at her kids are young, a lot of people believe that it's not the choice of the child at this time. I'm a little torn on that because I did allow my kids junk food. I did because I enjoy it. So let's move on. Let's try to remember me voicing what we do in our household does not imply I have any judgment for those who choose differently. What works for you and your family is what works for you. But we believe in keeping quote unquote food in the home that our children ask for. Of course, we wish that these foods weren't packed so full of absolute BS, but some things are out of control. For us personally, the mindset of, quote, I'm your parent, so it's my role to make every decision for you, unquote, doesn't fly. In fact, we feel it completely dismisses the fact that they are a whole human being themselves. Making every choice for your child doesn't allow for self-expression, doesn't allow for them to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. It doesn't allow for their own personality to develop and thrive. So yeah, honey, you want your box of Lucky Charms? Go for it. Does a pack of blue gushers brighten your mood? Then by all means, boo-boo. And to balance it, Mama always makes rounded meals daily. I haven't seen too many of those, but... And then we have hashtag Resilient Jenkins, hashtag Raising Kids, hashtag Making It Work, hashtag Snacks, hashtag Food Choices. And then she shows, I don't know, you can see there she's got some pictures of the junk food that she has bought. Now it sounds to me, I'm surprised, for Stephanie, who always wants to call herself a helicopter parent, okay? I'm quite surprised that it seems like she's letting her kids, so she says, make all these decisions. It's almost like, she's talking about them making choices and whatnot. It almost seems like she wants them to grow up faster right now. This is completely different than what we usually see from her. Usually she's in control and talking about, her homeopathic remedies and blah, blah, blah. And now we're talking about allowing the kids these junk foods. I'm confused because this is completely off base for Stephanie. It just seems, and these kids are already, let's face it, these kids are already being forced to grow up faster than they have to anyways because of this situation they're in. It's just a sad situation all the way around for these kids. Now, the whole junk food debate, we're not going to get into that because, some people think, they think people are horrible people if they allow their kids some junk food. Then you got the people, that don't, they allow just absolutely zero junk food. Then there's the ones that allow too much junk food. It's just a whole mess. Personally, I think until I'm not paying for these people's food, so it's not my business to tell them what they should and shouldn't be eating. That's the way I feel. If you're not paying for someone's food, you don't have the right to tell them what they should and shouldn't be eating. That's just the way I see it. But my whole point is, Stephanie, this is way off base for her. She's always trying to be into the healthy stuff, the natural stuff. And now we got this strange. What's going on? What is really going on with Pookie here? I'm confused.